Well, it's official. It snowed on Halloween again. Oh well. Oh, what do you do, right? It's a day later and I'm just out checking fields and everything is a little too wet to do anything, which is okay. It's kind of nice just to actually have kind of a rain day here and get caught up on some stuff. We haven't had a rain day in about 6 to 7 weeks. It's been a very crazy time frame. Just got back in the yard here and it's been just a wild run. It's kind of nice, the truck's warm, so I'm just gonna kind of sit here for a little bit. The last handful of weeks, we've just been flying. We had a really good fall, and a lot of things that we just have never had before. We had like 0 rain days between like September 15th and October 31st. And then October 31st, we got snow. Well, that can happen. The funny thing is it's back-to-back years. Right now, I think everyone's just happy to have a day off. Oh my gosh, it was a wild run. We got beans out in record pace. We're caught up on a bunch of spreading stuff. And back on like October 10th or 11th, we actually threw the corn head on the combine. Okay, so if you see the corn head coming in the field here, that is just awesome because that means we're done with beans. And yeah, kind of cool. We got a little work to do. We got to switch some things over, but seeing that in the field, very cool because it's October 10th. We've never started corn this early before, but I'll take it this year. I feel like we've earned it. Our old record for putting the corn head on the combine was October 20th, and then this year I think it was October 10th or 11th that we put it on, and we started combining corn, and it just was amazing. Everything was dry, everything was nice. It was just absolutely fantastic. All right, so this is really kind of a cool hilltop. I mean, it is an absolute mountain slope. Well, you can see we got the combine going there. I actually dumped the first grain on the ground. That was my fault, overshot it with the combine. We got a full grain cart. So if we go back over this way, I actually have semi down there. So we're gonna go dump grain cart. Fun morning. Today's really good. I'm actually at my friend Martin's here, and we're going to pick up his grain trailer because he's actually done with corn already. And it's one nice thing when you have friends that are nice and kind, they let you borrow their stuff. Now, earlier in the year, I borrowed Martin one of our semis and hoppers. I told him, like, man, just keep going, I'll bring it out. And it's kind of cool because today he's repaying the favor, and so it's really kind of neat. But yeah, no, anything to make fall go smoother. I don't know how the tarp handle can break at the elevator, but it did. Oh well, fix that later. Huh, dumb thing. And we had a few breakdowns along the way, typical stuff. See, that way you fall forward and it doesn't hit you. We have mystery hydraulic oil leak on a combine, and well, you're gonna have that stuff. Okay, so we had it's kind of funny because we had like 2 major breakdowns here. Well, number 1, guys call me, hey, the combine's a little low on hydraulic oil. Okay, yeah, keep going, keep an eye on it, dump some more in, we got it on the truck, no big deal. And then a little later that day, the operator calls me and says, hey, the head doesn't want to lift. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Okay, I'll be there in a little bit. Well, right when I got there, I know exactly what happened, and it's one of those things that nobody's really to blame. It's life. He was going downhill in a ravine, and it didn't lift fast enough, and he caught a snoot, and he bent his snoot back, and it was just like, oh, crap. like, okay, dang it. Last year we bought that head, it was in really nice shape, and I didn't really know how well we could actually bend a snoot back, but actually, pretty decent. Yeah, get some bars out and put some pressure on it, pry it back. Yeah, you get it looking pretty good. But that ensured me that I knew we had something going on. The problem was we just couldn't find the oil leak in the field. We were looking for flashlights. We filled the reservoir back up. We're trying to find this oil leak. We were looking for with flashlights, couldn't find it. And then we decided, hey, let's just call it for the morning, or let's just call it for the night, and then we'll just take it back to the shop and then let it sit on either hard surface, concrete, or the yard, and we'll see if we can't find the oil leak. Well, wouldn't you know, the next morning, we found the oil leak. All right, well, it is Monday morning, and usually if the combine is parked next to the shop, it's not a good thing. What we had going on is we knew we had an oil leak, and it turned out, well, we were trying to find it in the field. We knew we dumped about 5 gallons over the course of about 2 hours. We weren't quite sure. We were looking in the field, but the problem is, like, the field can kind of be like a big sponge. And so if you're trying to find an oil leak, it's not exactly the best spot. So I told the guys after we finished the field yesterday, bring it back, put it in the yard, because there's a good chance if we park the combine on a hard surface, we should find the leak. Well, this morning I came down and sure enough, found the leak. And so we got the hose off for that. Now I'm headed to town to get parts and pay a couple bills. And it's just kind of that normal Monday morning stuff. And like I kind of figured it was underneath the machine, dripping directly on the ground, and that's why we weren't able to find it. And this combine has these trash whippers to kind of spread the stalks out. And yep, there was our mystery oil leak. Luckily, it turned out just to be a hose and not a big deal. But yeah, we actually had one of our hilliest fields. One of our hilliest fields was nice, dry, and ready to go. And we started working on that on October 11th. And man, that was cool, because this hillside, this field has 2 steep hillsides in it, and if they're wet, you can kind of slide down. The fear, we've never had it that bad, but the fear is always you'd slide down off the hill and into a tree line, and we never had it that bad. But I definitely had a combine take off on me once or twice. So the fact that we were able to get that done in record dry weather, that's just nice. And after that, we just kept moving on. It was a really good run.